So I spent all day editing this, and it turns out it's probably going to be like a 4 or 5 part series. It's too long for TikTok. And no pressure to watch it if you don't want to, but I needed to get it out for myself. So, okay. I guess here goes. At the time that the pandemic hit, I had pulled away from pretty much my whole community of friends and family, and I was looking for a community again. I also found out at the time that I am ADHD, and last year I found out that I am autistic as well, so a lifetime of being undiagnosed with those things had created a lot of trauma for me. Not understanding who I am and why I am the way I am, and everyone else being different. I know that I'm weird, but I thought that I was wrong in some way or broken, and I'm not. I'm just autistic and ADHD. And my husband and I joined back to a old MMORPG that we used to play to kind of find some community in a world where you couldn't get together with people. I made friends. The thing about gamers is they come and go. They're there for a season and then they go. And I was having a really hard time with that, with accepting that, because like I said, I was in search of community. The person that I'm talking about today filled that role. At first, it was casual, just friendly chats. This particular person, I started asking their deep, dark secrets like once a day, at least. And over time, we built up a rapport. We did build a friendship. And there was someone on Discord who was talking about my husband, and saying things that only she would know. I questioned them, and I asked if it was her, and she said, or they said no. She said no. She said that it was someone who was trolling her. She knew who it was. She said it was an old friend, and they were trolling her. I didn't completely believe it, just because there's no way that this person could have known what they were saying about my husband. So that was odd, but I kind of put it out of my memory. I couldn't prove either way, like, that it wasn't her. She was in a position where she was helping people in this game. There were supposed to be other people in this position, but none of them were active. She was really the only one that was active. And as a friend, with the capability and knowledge to join her in helping, I applied for this position. I was accepted. And by this time, we were fairly close friends. Then comes along a new person into the game, a name that I had never seen before. They were asking for her, and at first I just passed on the information, like, you're being asked for. This person became persistent, to say the least, and began harassing her. The story went that at one point they even came to her house and were asking for a threesome with him, his girlfriend, and her. At this point, I know that she's married. I don't know if I knew that who she was married to was a woman. Eventually, I know that she's not only married and married to a woman, but that she has an open relationship with her wife. She said she escorted him off her property by gun, I found it odd because she was an enforcer of rules in the game, and she did not report it. She didn't take any kind of legal measures. Then again, I'm accepted into help players in the game. So that situation happened. I start training for this position, and she's my trainer. There were 2 other people that I was training with. One was in Australia, not same time zone. The other was joining the position for the wrong reasons, and it was found out fairly early, and he was let go. Ended up being me and her spending a great amount of time together. I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with spending that much time. I felt like it was expected of me, though. And when something is expected of me, like I'm trying really hard to follow those expectations. One thing led to another. I adored her. In my eyes, I adored her as a friend. I wanted to learn everything she had to teach me, just personally and in the game. My husband noticed that perhaps the feelings were a little bit stronger than just wanting to be friends with her. And he approached me. He told me that he felt like I had feelings for her, and if I wanted to pursue things with her, he consented. And by this time, I knew she was in an open relationship and a lesbian. I thought about it, and I realized that I did have feelings for her that were beyond just friendship. It was kind of a shock to me because I had never considered anything like that. But then I did start thinking about it, and the thought excited me, and I did want to pursue it. So I confessed my feelings to her, and the next day she reciprocated those feelings. A lot of this is hard to prove, and so it makes me feel crazy, but it was a pattern of behavior. I did not believe that the player that was harassing her was actually someone else. I thought that it was her. And the person before, I thought that that was also her. These were things that I knew going into this, and I ignored them. You should never ignore your gut. Never ignore red flags. Repeatedly through our relationship, she talked bad about her wife. She talked bad about exes. These were red flags too, and I ignored them. I was excited about the possibility of exploring my sexuality. I ignored so many things, and I really liked her. I enjoyed time with her, but she consistently lied to me. And it was little things I caught her lying about, but I ignored them. But then that backed up the fact that I thought that she was really those people, because if she could lie about little things, she could lie about big things too. And something that she frequently said to me was, "You're only as good as your word." It was drilled into me that she was an honest person. There were a lot of things that she said frequently. Looking back, I can see these things now clearly. At the time, I was kind of in a fog.